No, it's just weird.
So my name is Marie Muscardini and I'm the founder of Handcraft Studio School. I opened up in September of 2013. I was working in a job that didn't allow for much creativity and I wanted to work in a more creative environment. I also have 2 young children and really needed a more flexible schedule to be a better parent and just more available to my children. So I thought opening up a studio would provide me with those things, and then also I just saw kind of a need for community building in our culture. A lot of people work for themselves, work in cubicles, and because we have access to relate through social media, we don't have an opportunity to relate one-on-one with people, and I really wanted to give people an environment where they could be creative and grow community and relate to one another.
Oh no! Just one person actually in my LA class. My name is Tiffany Turner and I'm an architect and paper artist. I began working in paper 2 or 2.5 years ago. I was working on a costume for a performance I was in and needed some flowers and made some and realized that there weren't tutorials out there that I wanted to work with, so I made my own. So for the Dahlia, you should really listen.
Yeah, I love making things with my hands. I think it's really relaxing. It gives me an opportunity to be creative, and I work on the computer all day, so I love coming here to Handcraft Studio School and spending time learning new things, meeting great people, and making stuff that makes me feel excited and happy.
I worked as a contemporary art appraiser for about 13 years. And my name's Robert Mahar, and I'm an artist and maker. I have been making and designing products for a long time. The particular class that we're doing today, the Japanese paper and fabric marbling, I've been doing for about 2.5 years. I love the handcraft movement. It's really my world and where I have found sort of my strengths and my skill sets. So it's something I enjoy. I enjoy working with students, exposing them to new projects and materials, kind of giving them new possibilities to be creative. And then back, the second sheet, again holding at the corners, laying it down for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lifting it up. See, and you will find too that some of the colors you probably have a little bit of a preference for. Thank you so much. You're hired,
My name is Lydia Choi and I'm the owner and creator of Poppy Hearts. Poppy Hearts is a lovely hair adornments brand that is inspired by French romantic and classic time period. I started this business in April of 2011. It's been almost 4 years. Creating is one thing, but running a business is a whole new story. From making and admin work to budgeting and selling the products, I'm still learning how to balance those tasks, but it's still challenging at times. So I do a lot of weekend shows, like big arts and crafts shows, and as well as pop-up shops for like a monthly long at the malls. I've built my customer base that way, and a few customers would ask for custom work. So I would do it on the spot, or if it's like a more intense or more detailed work, I would ask to give a few weeks. But they would give me an idea up front of what they have in mind, and I would make that happen. So I graduated from Academy of Art with graphic design degree, and for 11 years or so I was in the graphic design field. And while I was doing that full-time, I started Poppy Hearts as a part-time on the side, and I did that for about 2 years. And then I knew that it was something that I really wanted to do. I was really passionate about making, so I switched my full-time in graphic design into doing this full-time now.
Hey friends, it's Robert, and I have missed you. I've always been a creative person, and when I was a kid, I think I was always one of those kids that would rather be inside making arts and crafts than running around outside, and so I feel really fortunate as an adult that I've been able to create a livelihood doing this. One thing that's been really special in the last year is that I've been able to open up an art studio in Los Angeles with a friend of mine, and so it gives us a space not only to work on our own projects, but also to invite other people in for workshops. So the project we're going to be working on today is a form of Japanese paper and fabric marbling. So all of the students have a water bath, and we're going to be using special inks, and on top of them we'll be manipulating them and creating different patterns that will then capture on paper. And then I also will show a process by which you can take these same patterns then and transfer them onto silk and set the dye into the silk. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
These are some of the things we make in my paper crown headpiece class that just finished now. These are some dahlias, and this is one actually Marie made in one of my classes in the fall, and rose and carnation, and these are godisha. And these are all things that are made to be really sturdy in a headpiece so that you can wear it for a long time and they don't fall apart.
This is a dahlia that I made. Here's a dahlia that I made in the class. I thought it was really fun to make, and you know, just learning about all the different parts of the flower and thinking about how to construct it was really fun. Mom is visiting from New York, and so I love Handcraft Studio School. It's one of my favorite parts of living in the Bay Area. So when I thought about what to do with her, I thought it'd be great if we took a class together.
So I worked for many years at a paper supply store, and I just have a fondness of paper in general. So often when there are paper artists in the studio, I do like to take their workshops because it's really my love. And Tiffany is a great instructor, and I enjoy taking her classes. So the last headpiece class before today that she taught, I took it, and it was right before Halloween, and this was part of my Halloween costume. And I love making the paper flowers. I think it was one of the first professional workshops I took, maybe like 15 years ago. It was how to make paper flowers, and I've loved it ever since. So.
This is actually corsages. I have 3 different sizes. These corsages have 2 different types of pin on the back. There's an alligator clip you can clip to the hair on a bun, or you can also clip it to an outfit like this. And these are made of a taffeta material, so it's very soft and realistic looking flowers. Custom projects I had, and then decided to turn it into one of my popular selling items. This is actually made of 2 small corsages and turned into a keychain that can be clipped on the favorite handbag or use it as a keychain. Yeah, and it comes in many different colors.
In the textile industry, a company using Total Business Solution could secure its markets by offering consumers a complete range of products.
The difference between handmade and what you can find in the stores, sometimes there's no difference because you can find handmade in the stores. But mine are, I try to spend a lot of time studying how a flower is made. It's really important to me to understand how a flower grows before I make it.
A lot of it is the human connection, because when you're actually making something with your own 2 hands, there's a sense of accomplishment, you're tapping into your own creativity, you're giving yourself an outlet that you might not otherwise have. I don't have anything against mass-produced items because I think they're a necessity in our lives. But to be able to sit down and work with materials and manipulate them into something new, I think is really special. And I think it's a way to enrich your life.
So I think handcrafted work has more quality feel to it, and it's more unique, and it has a story behind it, I would say, because it's got individual artist has their own philosophy and the theme that they're after. So I think it's very different from mass production. All of my products actually, they have a theme. They're based on that whole romantic classic theme. So I try to keep it very sophisticated and elegant. And many of these designs have that natural like leaf theme to it.
What I think is really important about people coming to a workshop is it gives them a bigger appreciation for how much time and effort goes into making something by hand. So when you walk into a store and you see this beautiful wooden spoon for $250, you realize that somebody spent all day creating it. And that's just having classes like this gives people that kind of appreciation. I think it's important also for people to slow down and make and really create high quality things, and to be thoughtful about what we purchase. There's so much stuff in the world, and we can go to a store and walk out with 5 items that we don't really need and don't really love, or we can walk into a store and walk out with one really special item that means a lot and that we'll have for a long time, and maybe even pass to kind of the next generation. So I appreciate people being more thoughtful about what they purchase and knowing the story behind it. And then also taking workshops to have an appreciation of how much time it takes for other people to create it.
Stay on top of it, and it stays pretty strong.
I think it is, part of it is